And I have like a hate mob on the internet that you want to see me dead or in prison or picking cabbages or cotton. People will try to literally, like, people have literally tried to murder me, like, multiple times, like, on camera, like, on live stream. I've, like, been attempted to be killed multiple times. Some guy tweeted at me, like, yo, I got your address. I'm going to leave you and your friend in a pool of blood.
All right, so Johnny Somali had a secret interview a couple days ago that has now been wiped off the internet, and the only reason I have access to it is because of my good friend on Twitter, Johnny Somali. So I'll leave a link to his Twitter page. He's amazing. Now, when I first saw this, it was posted on Johnny Somali's channel and this other woman's channel. Now, I'm not going to name that woman because she doesn't deserve any clout whatsoever, but since then, Johnny Somali destroyed this interview, completely wiped it out. Now, we are going to listen to this. He plays the victim. He tries to pretend that he's a target and none of this is his fault. And since this is audio only, I'm going to use stock pictures of Johnny Somali, but I know he's a little odd to look at, so I tried to enhance him and make him easier on the eyes. I don't know if it worked or not, but without further ado, let's get started.
But I started streaming in Thailand, Japan, Korea, like a few different countries, Indonesia, like just kind of streaming my life as a tourist. And it kind of it's a very toxic space, the IRL streaming space, because, you know what I mean? You have to entertain your viewers. And sometimes your viewers, they don't want to see you. There's so many content creators that they can watch to say, like, hey, I'm eating this nice food here and I'm going to this beach. But
They like to say
people like
things that are appealing.
they like to be entertained. They like degenerate content. And I am a degenerate, I have to be honest.
So here he pretty much admitted that he cannot compete with normal streamers or positive streamers, I guess because he doesn't have any talents, and that's why he does the degenerate IRL content. At least he's honest with himself. He realizes that he is completely useless besides nuisance streaming, and that is basically his only option.
I love that because so am I, my friend. You said you do a lot of IRL streaming as opposed to this notion of video game streaming, and that's honestly the thing I want to know. So I'm sure I told you when we first met, I do IRL content as well. I went to the Democratic National Convention with a very provocative sign.
What did the sign say? I looked at it. It said,
It
I tried
said,
to,
"There's race war now, fascism now, go to hell and die."
and nobody tried to attack you for that?
Oh,
Or
no,
they did?
several people did. No, I risked quite literally my entire career life, family life by doing that. There were 200,000 people when I got off the platform of the station with that sign.
That's crazy. And you didn't have any fear of your life when you did that?
None. I had none because I knew what I was doing. And I'm sure I'm going to ask you this. You have a lot of maybe you don't, but maybe you have motives for what you do, for what you do. Maybe it's an idea or a value. But for me, my only value in that situation was freedom of speech, protecting every American's right to talk about what they want to talk about.
So what you're going to realize through this interview is that this is pretty much a female version of Johnny Somali. She thinks just like him. She's just as depraved. And that's why I refuse to give her username or name whatsoever, because she does not need clout. People like that need to be exposed and then forgotten, like Vitaly. He's in jail. No one will remember him in 10 minutes, which is exactly how it should be.
I agree with you on that. I feel like I should be able to say whatever I want and do whatever I want if I'm not hurting anyone.
That
Like,
is
if people
very
want to call
true.
me racist, if people want to call me all these different slurs or whatever, I'm a racist, I'm this, I'm that. You know what I mean? It doesn't really affect me, and it shouldn't mean violence. I feel like words should never equate to violence. And
That's
if you
what
look at anything I've ever done, I've been offensive. Like, I don't think being offensive means kill somebody. And I have like a hate mob on the internet that you want to see me dead or in prison or picking cabbages or cotton.
Oh
I'm
gosh.
like, I don't know why.
Why? Like, what does that accomplish for the person saying it? Like, it only fuels to the fire what they are dwelling about on the daily. I feel people, and what I've learned throughout this experience of IRL content making, which is kind of a newer, more new concept, especially when you involve politics, is that people get jealous sometimes, people get fearful, and people start jumping to conclusions.
I agree with you. And I liked that how free you are. I scrolled your Twitter page once I first found your account, and I was like, crazy. I was like, I want to be friends with this person.
I no,
I was like,
off the wall, balls to the walls, insane.
You can see that Ramsey is almost falling in love with this woman. He's telling himself, finally, I found someone just as insane and as depraved as I am. His Riz is pretty bad, so I don't know if he'll be able to score, but these two together in a live stream would be absolutely disgusting. And one thing's for sure, Hank would get extremely jealous.
but it's good. It's good to be free. Like I don't like these boundaries that society tells me that I need to behave this kind of way. I don't know. I think just from a youth, I've not liked authority. I don't care if it's my parents, my teacher, whatever, anybody, religious scholar, anybody
I'm
telling me what
saying
to
that.
do. I don't give. I
No,
want to do what I
that's
want
what
with
it
my
boils
life.
down to. I don't give.
And nowadays, our society has moved to a point where if you do these things, people will try to literally, like, people have literally tried to murder me, like, multiple times, like, on camera, like, on live stream. I've, like, been attempted to be killed multiple
I
times. And I
I saw
survived
that
every
video
attack,
where you
thank
were
God.
punched. I saw that video where you were decked.
Yeah, and it's happened. And so many people are in the comments like, "Oh, next time stab him, next time kill him, next time." I'm like, for what? Like,
For
I've never put
what?
a hand on anybody in my entire life. Like, I don't get it. I feel like those people are more psycho than me.
I am so glad you said that because I try to tell people who have come from like my literal life, who have tried to come to my building complex, people who are just absolutely deranged. I say to them every time, like, you realize you're your own problem here. I am so insignificant in terms of your personal problems and gripes with society.
These two are just something else. They go around and they create chaos, they harass people, they commit crimes. The woman in particular uses the most insane racial slurs to trigger people, and then they get surprised when someone wants to do something to them. If you're trying to attract that kind of energy, you're going to find it. And Johnny Somali has found it multiple times.
I agree with that because listen, me and you, what power do we have in society? Are we politicians? Do we have any kind of power in the world to like change policy or
Maybe we could.
jail
Maybe we could.
people or maybe one day?
One
But
day.
at this stage, no.
No, that
We're
we're
just
too
using our
small.
voices. But why do people want to squish us like ants? That's what I'm trying to figure it out to this day. I still like people think like I'm not self-aware. Like I get what I say sometimes is provocative. So yeah, people don't like it. I went the what really how this whole thing started was when I first started IRL streaming. I started streaming in like beginning, I mean, actually like, around this time in 2023. So almost 2 years ago, like May 2023. So like 2 years ago, I started streaming. I was streaming to a couple of friends on Discord. I opened up Twitch and Kick.com. I was in Japan one night. I got super drunk, like blackout drunk, and someone sent me a donation, and someone was like $50, and someone was like, "Say Hiroshima Nagasaki." So I said it on the train. Like I was like, "I don't give a fuck." I said it. The next day, I wake up, my phone is hot. 5,000 fucking follower requests on Instagram. We're gonna kill you. Like,
God.
we're gonna lynch you. We're gonna. And ever since then, I was like, it's not like a superpower, but I was like, ever since then, people have paid attention to every word that comes out of my mouth, and I was like, I
Isn't
might as
that
well just
a
trigger these
crazy
people more.
level of existence?
And that's the thing. He's addicted to having people listen to him. He's addicted to the clout. But this is not the only way to get clout. Take my channel, for example. People listen to what I have to say. Sure, I'm not rebroadcasted and clipped by hundreds of thousands of people, but I have a community and it's surrounded around positive content, which is exposing scumbags on the internet. You can do it that way, but no, he chose the easy route, which is just being a total degenerate.
Is that people pay attention to you who you don't even know. And let me tell you, people who have had major gripes with me have called me the most incendiary words. They have called me. And let me tell you, no neo, no, and I'm not supporting or saying I condone these ideologies, but no Republican center right person has ever talked down to me like that. But these hyper leftists and these censorship warriors, they have called me every name in the book. And I insist very heavily that no person who's even more extreme than me on the right they've actually been very respectful. I've gone to dinners with some very prolific full blown who bought me a meal and shook my hand after and said we're just human, just like me. And that's very telling. That's very telling.
I feel like the liberal people are the ones that are the most racist to me too. They're the ones calling me I need to die or whatever.
Isn't
You know
it
what I mean?
funny
I
how
feel
it's
like
always that way?
I just feel like if you're not hurting anybody, and I feel like it's cliche. Everybody always said this for years. If I don't agree with what you say, but I respect your right to say it. That is gone from our society.
So I love how they're making this about politics when it has nothing to do with politics whatsoever. I read my comment section very thoroughly, and I can tell that there are viewers from the right, there are viewers from the left, there are viewers from the center, and there's one thing that they all agree on. It's that Johnny Somali is an insufferable prick. I mean, that is no small feat to bring Republicans and Democrats in the comment section together agreeing that this guy is absolutely the worst. It's almost an accomplishment.
We have cancel culture. We have this. It's like a digital lynch mob. I feel like right now I'm going through what Emmett Till went through in the 50s or the 40s, whenever they were lynching black people. But they're just doing it to me on YouTube and Twitter
You
and
know,
Reddit.
I my half my family's black, and unfortunately, it's very sad that that occurred in our country's history. I had a great uncle who was a lynching victim for being falsely accused of having relations with a white woman, and he was ultimately killed at a very young age. He was a child, basically. And, it's not that I'm an anti racism warrior, but I don't appreciate being called a racist. I actually get a little ticked at it because whilst I'm a realistic race rationalist and I see races for what they can or can't be, I don't have any bone of hate in my body. I don't feel those feelings of being hyper offended by someone's existence.
I find it insane that she said that because she went up to a rally with a sign that said, fuck N words with the hard ER. They are a failed race. Go die and burn in hell. And now she's saying that she doesn't have a racist bone in her body and doesn't have any hatred. Obviously, we're dealing with someone who is extremely mentally ill and is addicted to the internet and is just completely gone in their mind. The biggest hypocrites I have ever seen on the internet are quote unquote self-appointed free speech warriors, such as Johnny Somali, this woman, and Myron Gaines. They are massive hypocrites.
I agree with you. I feel the same way. Like I never wake up out of my bed one day and say like Indians,
Be like,
you know, Jews, these people. Like I don't wake up with that negative. Like I want to go outside and I want to just. I see someone from a different race and I want to hurt them. No, sometimes
no,
I get
100%.
drunk. I take. Sometimes I get drunk. I say something. You know what I mean? It's all in good fun. Like I really, but I don't understand why words are taken
So
to this
seriously.
point of murder. Like literally, I get death threats every day. Like some dude tweeted at me like 2 days ago, and this is like my ninth Twitter account because they keep deleting my Twitter account. Some guy tweeted at me like, "Yo, I got your address. I'm gonna leave you and your friend in a pool of blood." I'm like, who's more psycho, me or you?
That's schizophrenic. That's just schizophrenic, dude.
Someone on YouTube told me this 5'4" black kid is like bullying Asian people. I'm gonna murder you. I'm like, bro, you need to go to the
No,
psycho,
like there are
not me.
people who need to be Baker acted immediately on not only this app but the whole world. Like these irrational outbursts, and a lot of it, I think, that a lot of the time these people are jealous that they are not bold and brave enough to say what they actually want to say.
'Cause I've had every consequence in the book. I've been banned off of. I'm almost as canceled as Nick Fuentes. I've been banned off almost every single social media platform
Are
multiple
you
times.
banned
Is
on
actually
Cash App too and like other banking platforms?
no, but I'm pretty sure if I continue the path I'm going, that's coming. And that's
I'm sure
that's
for
why
me
like
too.
that's they actually banned me from Airbnb, which is the crazy thing. I got an email randomly because like the Times of Israel when I went to Tel Aviv and I went to a Netanyahu protest and it went viral in Israel
Why
and
didn't you invite? Oh my god.
like I was holding this giant. I was on this one. I was on Kick.com and I was like one of like I was a pretty large streamer on that platform where they kicked me off. I had like 4,000 viewers live. I was holding the BB Escobar sign and like I was chanting, leading the protest in Tel Aviv. And I don't know. I feel like I'm just an agent of chaos. I don't. I
I
just
feel
like
the same
chaos.
way about myself.
I don't care what the protest is about. I just want to insert myself and make content and just I don't know. It's just it's better than sitting in the house and being bored. I like to create chaos. I like to create
Well,
not
chaos is
violence.
engine can be
Clearly, he is completely disconnected from reality. He says he's an agent of chaos and he likes to create chaos, and then he wonders why chaos shows up at his front door. You reap what you sow in life. If you bring positivity to the world, you should get positivity back. If you bring chaos to the world, well, you get punched by Dalgoon.
That's why they try to do that to me a lot. They try to provoke me to violence so then they can say I'm violent or get me locked up. And I never fall for the game. I like people call me a pussy because like when I go to these foreign countries, I let these people assault me. Like even my own mother, my mom has seen these clips that have gone viral, and, like
well, doesn't
people
that show
punching me.
you're not
And
a
she's like, "Why?"
pussy by letting that come to you? It kind of shows you're not a pussy.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. You know how the people will spin the narrative. They're like, "Oh, you don't fight back. You're a pussy." I'm like, no, I just know the law. I just know if I punch
If I
somebody else in a foreign
yeah,
country, here in America, I'm gonna have to deal with legal consequences. So if you want to punch me and deal with the civil or criminal consequences of that, be my guest. If you want to throw your life, that's what I always say. If you want to throw your life away over me, an insignificant person, I still think I'm extremely insignificant. I don't know these people
very.
that
I
hate
feel the
me
same
and they
way.
hate you. I feel like I have an imposter syndrome. I wake up and I'm like, yo, why are all these people tweeting and making YouTube videos about me? Like I don't get it. I really don't. I just feel like I have no power. I'm not a king. I'm not a prince. I'm not a politician. I'm just literally
Yeah.
my words have an edgelord, a fucking general edgelord. That's literally just rage baiting people. And if you fall for it, does that not mean I control you? If I can make you emotionally act out, if I can make you like waste your day typing paragraphs on Reddit or making document. There's people that have like sat on YouTube and have made 1 hour, 2 hour documentary, like deep diving, like psychoanalysts on Johnny Somali. He's like Hitler. He's like the worst person that's ever like been alive. I'm like, what? There's rapists and murderers out here.
Still free.
But I don't know. I'm banned from Israel now for 5 years or for 4 years.
Oh, like you legally cannot enter the country.
I cannot because of the protest.
You
They
got
got
off
really
very
mad.
easy. You
They
got
they
off
got
it.
really mad that I went to that protest. They took me to the immigration office and they said, "Listen, if you want to come back, bring the official Aliyah paper or marry a Jewish girl, and we can let you come back. But you need to choose what you need to be." The verbatim. They said, "You want to be a tourist or do you want to be a protester or a
You
journalist?
gotta marry a Jewish
You need to
bitch.
pick."
You gotta marry. Okay, we gotta set this up.
That's my plan. That's my plan. If I'm gonna spread a bunch of Johnny Somali, have Jewish Somali babies all across this world, and they won't stop me. They won't stop me.
The
I'll
Black
I'll go back
Jewish
there.
Musk Empire.
It was good to talk to you. I will do another space with you whenever you want. Just let me know. It was nice to talk to you, and yeah.
Isn't that hilarious? He says that when he talks about something that triggers people, he controls them, but yet as soon as you mention vasectomy, he goes nuts, which proves that we control him. Thanks so much for watching. You might have missed yesterday's video because it was not Johnny Somali related, but it is hilarious. Take a look at the link on the top right of the screen right now. I highly recommend you click on that because that video was so much fun to make and I'm sure you'll enjoy it as well. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you guys on the next one.